Yes, we are at stage 7, paragraph page 520. Okay, and our last headword was education, newer type of lesson.
Education. Yes, education.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. What happens to a bill after it has been passed by Parliament? What happens to a bill after it has been passed by Parliament? After a bill
After a
has been
bill
passed
must be
by
passed
Parliament,
by a
it
parliament,
becomes an
it
act.
becomes an act.
Very good. When do we use the words used to and what does it mean? When do we use the words used to and what does it mean? We use the
We
words
use
used
the
to
word
for
used
a
to
habit
for the
or
habit
repeated
or
action
repeated
in the
action
past,
in the past,
especially when the
especially
action
when the
is
action
now finished.
is now finished.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I used to go
I used to
to the
go
cinema a lot
to the cinema a lot
when I was a
when
child.
I was a child.
Very good. Did you used to speak English better in the past than you speak it now? Did you used to speak English better in the past than you speak it now? No, I didn't
No,
use to
I
speak
didn't use
English
to speak
better in the
English
past
better in
than
the
I
past
speak it now.
than I speak
I
it
used to
now.
speak it
I
worse
used to speak it
than I
worse
speak it
than
now.
I speak it now.
Very good. Did you used to eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? Did you used to eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? Yes or no?
No,
I didn't
I
use to
didn't
eat
use
a
to
lot of
eat a
sweets
lot of
when I
sweet
was a child.
when I was a child.
Very good. What do the letters BC mean? What do the letters BC mean? The letters
The
BC
letters
mean
VC
before
means
Christ.
before Christ.
Very good. What do the letters AD mean? What do the letters AD mean? The letters
The
AD
letters
mean
AD
Anno
means
Domini,
Anno Domini,
meaning in
for
the year
meaning in the
of our
year
Lord.
of our Lord,
Although we usually
although
think of
we
this
usually think
as
of
meaning
this
after
as
Christ.
meaning after Christ.
Very good. When someone is on trial, do they have to promise to tell the truth in court? When someone is on trial, do they have to promise to tell the truth in court? Yes. When
Yes,
someone is
when
on
someone
trial,
is on
they have
trial,
to promise
they have to
to tell
promise
the truth
to
in
tell the
court.
truth in court.
Is it wise to judge something before we give it a trial? Is it wise to judge something before we give it a trial? No, it
No,
isn't
it
wise
isn't
to
wise
judge something
to judge
before
something
we give it a
before
trial.
we give it a trial
Why not? Why not? Because
because we might make a mistake.
that's correct. Okay, what did you like to see introduced into your country from abroad? What did you like to see introduced into your country from abroad? I'd like to see,
I'd like to see dried mangoes
introduced into my
introduced
country
into my
from
country
abroad,
from abroad.
from the Philippines, exactly. Okay, next. Can we use the words also, as well, and to in negative sentences? Can we use the words as well, to, and also in negative sentences? No, we can't
No,
use
we
the
can't
words
use
also,
the words
as well,
also
and
as
to
well and
in negative
to in
sentences.
negative sentences.
Which word do we use instead? Which word do we use instead? We use the word
We use the
either
word
instead.
either instead.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. He doesn't watch
He
TV
doesn't watch
or
TV
listen to the
or
radio
listen to the
either.
radio either.
Do you live in this school? Do you live in this school? No, I don't
No,
live
I
in this
don't live
school.
in this school.
Do the other students live in this school? Do the other students live in this school? No, the other
No, the
students
other
don't live
students
in this
don't
school
live in this school
either.
either.
Very good. Can you speak Chinese? Can you speak Chinese? No, I
No,
can't speak
I can
Chinese.
speak Chinese.
Can you speak Italian? Can you speak Italian? No, I can't
No,
speak
I can't
Italian
speak
either.
Italian either.
Will you come here next Saturday? Will you come here next Saturday? No, I won't
No,
come here.
I
Oh,
don't come here
oh well.
next Saturday.
Oh, no, I won't come
No,
here
I won't
next Saturday. I won't come
next.
here
No, I won't here. No, I won't come
here
here
next Saturday.
next Saturday.
Will you come here next Sunday? Will you come here next Sunday? No, I won't
No,
come here
I won't come
next
here
Sunday either.
next Sunday either.
Very good. Tell me something that you know you'll definitely do next weekend. Tell me something that you know you'll definitely do next weekend. I know that.
I know
I'll
that
definitely
I definitely play tennis
next
next
weekend.
weekend.
Very good. Would you like to live a life of adventure? Would you like to live a life of adventure? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd like to live
I'd like to
a
live
life of adventure.
a life of a life of adventure
Why? Why? Because
because it's exciting.
that's correct. What does a seed need to grow in a garden? What does a seed need to grow in a garden? A seed
A
needs
seed
water to
needs
grow in
water
a garden.
to grow in the garden.
Very good. What's the difference between we're going to go to the theater and we're going to the theater? What's the difference between we're going to go to the theater and we're going to the theater? The difference
The
between
difference
we're
between
going to go
you're
to the
going
theater
to go to the
and we're
theater
going to the
and what
theater
going to the
is
theater
that
is
we're
that
going to go
we are
to the
going
theater
to go to the theater
communicates that
communicate
it
that
is our
it is
intention
our
to go,
intentions to go.
whereas we're
Whereas
going to the
we are
theater
going to the theater
communicates that
communicate
the
that
visit has
the
already
visit
been
has
arranged.
already been
We
arranged.
already have the
We already
tickets.
have the
For
tickets.
example,
For example,
have you made any arrangements for this afternoon? Have you made any arrangements for this afternoon? Yes or no?
yes,
I have made
I have
arrangements
made
for
arrangement
this afternoon.
for this afternoon.
What are you going to do?
Uh, I'm go to drink with my friend.
I'm going to drink
I'm going to drink
with my
with my
friends.
friend.
Oh, very good. Are you coming to school tomorrow? Are you coming to school tomorrow? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm coming to
I'm
school
coming
tomorrow.
to school tomorrow.
Are you going away next weekend? Are you going away next weekend? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not going
I'm not
away
going away
next
next
weekend.
weekend.
Do you know what she's is doing after the lesson? Do you know what she's doing after the lesson? No, I don't
No,
know
I
what
don't
she is
know
doing
what she
after the
is
lesson.
doing after the lesson.
Ask her please. What are you doing
What they're doing
after the lesson?
after the lesson.
Very good. What's another verb we can use instead of the verb to carry? What's another verb we can use instead of the verb to carry? Another verb we can
Another
use
verb we
instead
can
of
use
the verb
instead
to
of
carry
the verb to carry
is the verb to bear.
is the verb to bear.
Very good. What are the three forms of bear? What are the three forms of bear? The three forms of
The three
bear
forms
are
of bear
bear,
are
bore,
bear,
born.
bore, born.
Very good. Do you think you could bear the weight of this table on your back? Do you think you could bear the weight of this table on your back? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think I
I don't
could
think
bear
I
the
could
weight
bear
of that
the
table
weight of that table
on my back.
on my back.
Very good. What kind of things can't you bear? What kind of things can't you bear? The kind of things
The kind of
I
thing
can't bear
I
are
can't bear are not enough sleep
and
and mm,
no food.
no food.
Very good. Me too. Okay. Next meter. Who was the last child your mother bore? Who was the last child your mother bore? The last child
The
my
last
mother
child
bore
my
was.
mother born by was me.
Oh, you're the youngest. Very good. What's the greatest physical pain you've ever borne? What's the greatest physical pain you've ever borne? The greatest
The
physical pain
greatest physical
I've ever
pain
borne
I've
was
ever borne was a labor pain.
like
Labor pain.
giving birth.
Uh,
Very good. That's
giving
very
birth.
painful. Very good. Okay. What's the difference between the words on and upon? What's the difference between the words on and upon? There's no difference
There are no
between
difference
the words
between
on
the
and
words
upon,
on and
except
upon,
that the word
except
on
that
is
the
much
word
more
on
common.
is much more common.
Very good. Could you eat a whole chicken? Could you eat a whole chicken? Yes or no?
No,
I couldn't eat
I
a whole
could eat
chicken.
a hot chicken.
Would you say that on the whole, life was better today than it was in the past? Would you say that on the whole, life was better today than it was in the past? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd say that
I'd say
on the
that
whole,
on the
life
whole,
was better
life
today
was better
than
today
it was in the
than
past.
it was in the past.
Have you ever spent a whole week in bed because you've been ill? Have you ever spent a whole week in bed because you've been ill? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've spent
I've
a
spent
whole week in
a
bed
whole week in bed
because I've been
because
ill.
I've been ill.
Very good. Okay. If you go to stay at a friend's for one night, do you take a lot of luggage with you? If you go to stay at a friend's for one night, do you take a lot of luggage with you? Yes or no?
No,
If I go to
if I
stay
go to
at a
stay
friend's
at
for one
the
night,
friends for one night,
I don't take
I
a
don't
lot of
take
luggage
a
with
lot
me.
of luggage with me.
Very good. What does the verb to account for mean? What does the verb to account for mean? The verb to
The
account
verb
for
to
means
account for
to
means
explain the
to
reason
explain
for.
the reason for.
How do you account for the fact that fewer CDs and DVDs are sold these days than previously? How do you account for the fact that fewer CDs and DVDs are sold these days than previously? This is because
This is
more
because
people
more
download
people
music
download
and
music
films
and
from the
films
internet
from
these
the
days.
internet these days.
Do governments usually have to account to the public for all the money they spend? Do governments usually have to account to the public for all the money they spend? Yes,
Yes,
governments usually have
governments
to account
usually have
to the
account
public
to the
for
public
all the money they
for all
spend.
the money they spend.
Very good. Do you think parents should have some control over the education of their children? Do you think parents should have some control over the education of their children? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think parents
I think
should have
parents
some
should
control
have some control
over the education
over the
of their
education
children.
of their children.
Very good. That's the end of our revision. Yeah, excellent. Let's have new word. Okay, so repeat. Northern,
Northern,
southern,
southern,
eastern,
eastern,
western,
western,
state.
state.
Very good. Okay, listen. Northern, southern, eastern, and western are all adjectives. They mean located in the north, south, east, and west. State. The word state is a noun. A state is a region of a country that is controlled by the country's central government but has the authority to make its own laws about certain things. For example, the name of a southern state in the USA is Texas. Let's practice. What are the adjectives of the nouns north, south, east, and west? What are the adjectives of the nouns north, south, east, and west? The adjectives
The
of the
adjectives
nouns
of the
north,
noun
south,
north, south,
east, and west
east, and
are
west
northern,
are northern,
southern,
southern,
eastern, and western.
eastern, and western.
Name me a northern European country. Name me a northern European country, please. Finland is a
Finland
northern
is a northern
European country.
European country.
Tell me the name of a southern state in the USA. Tell me the name of a southern state in the USA, please. The name of a
The name
southern state
of a southern
in
state
the USA
in the
is
USA
Texas.
is Texas.
Very good. Okay, next. Do the state in your country give free education? Do the state in your country give free education? Yes or no? The
Yes,
state in my
the
country
state in my
gives
country
free education.
gives free education.
Is Russia a Western European country? Is Russia a Western European country? No,
No,
Russia isn't
Russia
a
isn't
Western
a
European
Western
country.
European country.
Very good. Next, repeat. Sign,
Sign,
religion.
religion.
Very good. Okay, listen. Sign is a verb. It means to write your signature, like sign. For example, we must sign the contract as a proof that we agree about it. Sign can also be a noun. It means a movement of the hands or body that gives information or an instruction. For example, I'm making a sign which means come here. A sign also means a motion or an action that you use to express a thought. For example, the cross is the sign of the Christian religion. Religion, the word religion is a noun. It is the belief in the worship of a god or gods or any such system of belief and worship. For example, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam are religions. Let's practice. When we fill in a form, do we normally have to sign our name at the bottom? When we fill in a form, do we normally have to sign our name at the bottom? Yes. When we
Yes,
fill in a
when we fill
form,
in
we
a
normally
form,
have to
we
sign
normally have to
our
sign
name at the
our
bottom.
name at the bottom.
Right, what kind of sign am I making? What kind of sign am I making? You're making a sign
You're making a
which
sign
means come
which
here.
means come here.
If a man has rough skin on his hand, what is that probably a sign of? If a man has rough skin on his hand, what is that probably a sign of? If a man has
If a
rough
man
skin
has rough
on
skin
his hands,
on his
it's
hand,
probably a sign
it's probably
that
a
he
sign
does
that he
physical work
does physical
or
work
works with
or
his
works
hand.
with his hand.
Very good. What is the sign of the Christian religion? What is the sign of the Christian religion? The cross is the
The
sign
cross is a
of the
sign
Christian
of
religion.
the Christian religion.
Very good. Okay, next. Dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners.
Very good. Okay, listen. Dry cleaners is a noun. It is a shop where you can take clothes, etc., to be dry cleaned, especially expensive clothes. Okay, next repeat. Size.
Size.
Take.
Thick.
Very good. Okay, listen. Size is a noun. It means how big or small something is. For example, my feet is size 9.5. Take is a verb. It means to wear a particular size of clothes or shoes. For example, I take 9.5 shoes. Let's practice. What size shoes do you take? What size shoes do you take? I take size.
I take size
You take centimeters, right?
uh, 24
Centimeter
point,
shoes.
point 5,
No, 24. One more.
24
I
point
take
20.
size
I take size
24 and a half.
24 and a half. Oh,
Shoes.
shoes.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Stocking. One more.
St-
Stockings.
stockings.
Very good. Okay, listen. Stocking is a noun. It is a pair of tight-fitting thin cloth covers for the feet and legs worn by women. For example, some women prefer to wear stockings instead of tights. Hey, let's practice. What do some women prefer to wear instead of tights? What do some women prefer to wear instead of tights? Some women
Some
prefer to
women
wear
prefer to
stockings
wear
instead
stockings
of tights.
instead of tights.
Very good. Next, repeat. Damage.
Damage.
Very good. Okay, listen. Damage is a verb. It means to break it, spoil it physically, or stop it from working properly. For example, if I borrowed a friend's bicycle and damage it in an accident, I'd pay to have it fixed. Let's practice. If you borrowed a friend's bicycle and damage it in an accident, would you pay to have it fixed? If you borrowed a friend's bicycle and damage it in an accident, would you pay to have it fixed? Yes. If I
Yes,
borrowed a
if I
friend's
borrow
bicycle
a friend's
and
bicycle
damage it in
and
an
damage it
accident,
in an
I'd
accident,
pay to have it
I
fixed.
pay to have fixed.
Very good. Next, repeat. Violent.
Violent.
Very good. Okay, listen. Violent is an adjective. It is using physical force to hurt or attack someone or something. For example, I think life more violent these days than it was in the past. Let's practice. Do you think life is more violent these days than it was in the past? Do you think life is more violent these days than it was in the past? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think life
I think
is more
life
violent
is
these
more
days
violent these
than it
days
was in the
than
past.
it was in the past.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Navy.
Navy.
Very good. Okay. Listen, Navy is a noun. It is the part of a country's military forces that fights at sea. For example, he joined the Navy during the war. Let's practice. Would you like to join the Navy? Would you like to join the Navy? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't like
I
to
wouldn't
join the
like to
Navy.
join the Navy
Why not? Why not? Because
because uh,
it's
I
too.
don't like
You don't like.
I don't like guntai.
Very good.
Army.
You don't like
Army.
being
I
in
don't like
army.
army.
I don't like
Mm.
being in the army.
Be in the army.
In the army.
In the army.
Very good, and it's dangerous also. Okay. Very good. Next, repeat. Club.
Crop.
Very good. Okay, listen. Club is a noun. It is a group of people who meet to participate in an activity. For example, political club, English club, tennis club, etc. Another meaning of club is a place where people go dancing, listening to music, and meet socially, like when you drink with your friends. Club. For example, a jazz club or a nightclub. Let's practice. Do you belong to any clubs? Do you belong to any clubs? Yes or no?
Yes,
I belong
I
to
belong to
What club?
tennis club.
Tennis club. Very good. Are there a lot of nightclubs in your town? Are there a lot of nightclubs in your town? Yes or no?
Yes,
There are a
there
lot of
are a
nightclubs
lot of
in my
nightclubs
town.
in my town.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay,
Okay.
so our reading is at stage 6, paragraph page 432. Last headword was I will have eaten. Okay, so please start at paragraph page 433. Second question. Will you have had your dinner?
Okay, okay.
Mhm,
Will you have had your dinner before midnight tonight? Yes, I have had. I I have had my dinner before midnight tonight.
mhm.
Will we have left this room in 3 hours' time? Yes,
Yeah,
we'll have left this room in 3 hours' time. At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, will you already have got up? Yes, at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I already have got up.
very good.
We most we most shops in this town have shut before 11 o'clock this evening. Yes, most shops in this town will have shut before 11 o'clock this evening. Minister, Prime. What's a government minister? A government minister is someone who has a very important job in the government. Give me some examples, please. Minister of Agriculture, Foreign Minister, etc. Etc.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do some co- what do some countries call the most important minister in the government? Some countries call the most important minister in the government the prime minister.
Very good.
Guess. Are you usually able to guess a person's age? Yes, I'm usually able to guess a person's age. Coin. Have you have you got any coins in your pocket at the moment? No, I haven't got any coins in my pocket at the moment. Cheers. In which situation do we say cheers? We say cheers to express good wishes when we have a drink with somebody to say thank you and to say goodbye. Road. What the path of the light? The path of light is road. If you rode from here to the next town by bicycle, about how long would it take you? If I rode from here to the next town by bicycle, it would take me about 30 minutes.
Very good.
Degrees. Does the temperature decrease as we move from spring to summer? No, the temperature doesn't decrease as we move from spring to summer. It increases. Joint, shoulder, elbow. Do you have to join a library before you can start borrowing books? Yes, you have to join a library before you can start borrowing books. If we join two pieces of wood together like this, what do we make? If we join two pieces of wood together like this and like that, we make a cross.
Very good.
What
Okay, so